Nice to get a win. Sometimes it doesn't matter how or who, but win. So it felt good for us to be able to do that. We had some stretches where we looked good getting the win. Had other stretches where we didn't look very good. But we got the most important thing done. We closed the game with a victory. And start of the game, 28-11. I liked the start of the second half. I thought we had better movement of bodies. It was really nice to see Monte come in and have some productivity, get a few more minutes. So that was nice. Malik and Dakari. Dakari is a guy that's his offense has improved significantly, where he's someone now that can do things at both ends of the floor. And Malik, when we have him out there available, he can do some things. And I told Ted Leitner after the game that Malik, for a couple of weeks, 2.5 weeks, I've sensed excitement. He's come into the locker room with a smile on his face that was not forced and not phony. And you can sense that he feels privileged, happy, fortunate, and content to be in there, able to play. And we need him. We need him to finish the season on the floor. And I'm hopeful that that will happen. If it does, he will get better and we will get better. So all in all, choppy game with all the fouls at both ends, but we got ourselves a win. And now we need to focus on play better, get another win on Saturday at Fresno. Anything?
Coach, I'm curious to know, obviously I have my own opinions about this as a fan and as a sports reporter, but I'm curious to know what the coach thinks of it. When a team is losing, it's like a minute left, 2 minutes left in the game, and they're down by 10 or so, and they're constantly fouling, like Wyoming was tonight. What's your opinion on that? Is it worth it to do that? Is with a minute left and you're down by 10? What's your opinion on that?
Well, if I got the 10-point lead, I'm saying don't foul. If I'm behind by 10, I'm saying extend the game. I have been on both sides where 10-point leads evaporate in 30 seconds. So you do what you have to do. If I were them, I'd have fouled sooner and faster and harder and more. So I don't think that's fans I know want to get home, but if you're playing, you want to win the game. Anything else?
Coach, you shuffled the starting lineup. Was that more because of how they play the game with their two leading scorers coming off the bench, or is that something that you wanted to try different?
I started Valentine because they had big 33 Naughton in there, and I felt as if Val presented a matchup where I was unafraid to say guard him one-on-one. If we'd have started who we'd been going with, or who we went with Malik and Max, then we're either going to jeopardize ourselves with early potential fouls or have to double and set up potential threes. So we did that from a situational standpoint. I told Max, I'm not saying that you're a guy that I got to get out of the lineup and I'm blaming you for 2 straight losses. I think this is important. And he understood. And I said, you're going to probably play as many minutes as you normally do. So it was situational.
But, Techie had that incredible game, incredible half in the first exhibition. It's been pretty silent since. What did you see from him tonight? You talked a little bit about it before, but what did you see? What's changed with him? And is this a one-game appearance, or do you think something's
I don't know.
changed?
I mean, we'll find out. We'll find out. Techie is somewhat of a volume shooter. He took more shots than anybody on the team, 14. But he's not afraid to take a shot if he misses a shot. And you have to appreciate a guy like that also. It's never easy when you come in with expectations of your own and higher expectations at times from the outside world. So I try to give guys what I think they earn, and sometimes it's one man's opinion, and you got to bow your back and keep working and not worry too much when you don't. Today was Techie's birthday also, along with Jalen McDaniels. So it was nice to see him celebrate his birthday, getting a few more minutes and getting on the scoreboard, getting 12 points, which I think tied his career high, if you can't, with the other game, the exhibition game I think that we had. So it was nice. So we'll see what it brings. It gives me confidence to say I remember what he did. So he'll get an opportunity maybe earlier on Saturday.
Is there anything he was doing better tonight? Was it just making shots and getting confidence?
I don't know. He's been working hard pre and post practice shooting. You have to believe you're going to make shots, and then you can't start tinkering with your shot, changing mechanics and doing things if you feel you're doing it. You just got to stay with it. Keep working. Keep grinding away at it. And he's done a pretty good job of that. We've got a lot of guys that it's not about instant gratification, and that's what we all of us want. Just because you're out there 45 minutes extra every day, that doesn't mean it'll show up either in minutes on the court or productivity when you get there. But in the long haul, it will show up. So I'm proud of what he's doing and hoping that he can get another stint where he goes 7 out of 14.
The Mountain West distributed a memo, I think it was within the last 2 weeks, about technical fouls and some incidents they've been having in the league, and I think Greg Thompson used the word embarrassed by the league. That really hasn't affected your team. I'm just curious what your thoughts were on that. I'm sure you saw the memo and just what's going on in the league this year. Since none of these incidents, I don't think any of them I don't even know if you've got a T yet this year.
I think that documented some of the incidents that have occurred in the league. One, a fight in the women's game, and two, an incident between New Mexico and Colorado State, which was national news, and several ejections from coaches in games. And I think that they were shooting a one across the bow saying, be careful. Represent the right way, compete, but be careful. And I think sometimes our staff wants me to maybe get a technical or two, so maybe I'm at the far end of that. I got it and I read it and I called up you Stacy, says they're talking about you again. So I said they're not talking about me, they're talking about you. So I don't think that's a big issue, but those incidents I think were reasons why they did.
Are you proud that your team hasn't been caught up in any of that?
I am. There's that fine line between have competitive greatness and doing foolish things. And I don't want our guys to do foolish things. Sometimes things happen, but you got to be smart with how you play and what you do. And we talk about that and teach to that. And so, yeah, I'm pleased that that's the case.
Coach, you mentioned how Techie's not afraid to shoot, and like you said, had most shots on the game, but then you have a player like Hemsley who's been going through his own struggles and only shot 4 times tonight. Are you guys telling him to shoot more? What's going on with him mindset-wise, and what about tonight?
You play for the team. Don't worry about statistics. Be a good teammate. And our thought was move, play for others, don't try too hard, take what's there, take what's presented. So I think that speaks in a positive vein for Jeremy. He's not out saying, I'm going to hump my shot. When I get back in, I'm going to hump my shot. He's doing what he needs to do to try to help us win. And he's another one that's worked very, very hard before and after practice to get that shot better.
Any update on Zylan? I mean, is he making any progress? Or?
Yeah, I think he is. I think Zylan is making progress. I'm cautiously optimistic, I'll underline cautiously, that we'll have him available to suit up on Saturday, but he's not done anything with any type of hard cutting. He's done a little bit of spot shooting, and he says it's feeling better. So we'll let Zylan and Sergio and Dr. Bear be the dictators of whether he'll play or not. I did see that Tim Williams was reported to have a similar type of injury. I saw one place where they said he had a stress reaction. I saw someplace else where they said he had a stress fracture. So, yeah, you want to do what's right. We want to get him back. He wants to be back. So we'll have to nurture him like we did Jeremy last year, and probably won't have a lot of practice, but I hope he's able to play quickly.
Trey, you guys kind of held serve. You guys haven't lost back-to-back home conference games in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Is this something you guys needed tonight to get back going?
For sure. We just came off two losses, especially the last one where we felt like we played good enough to win, but they made some great plays down the stretch. So it's just one of those things, you got to bounce back, and we just trying to one game at a time, and started today, and we're glad we got that done.
What was the difference, though? Like, what was the difference? What was the difference between Saturday and then today in terms of keeping up that pressure in the second half defensively?
To be honest, I can't put a specific, pinpoint something and be like that was the difference. It's just one of those things. You just have to go out there and do it. We've been talking for a while where we have lapses where we look sluggish or we're not having that pressure like you said. So just one of those things. We had to go out there and do it, and today we did.
You guys had a 17-point halftime or 17-point first half lead. You saw that we dwindled to 4. What was the mindset for the players at halftime?
I think mostly just getting stops. We realized that we were fouling a lot, so we put them at the line a lot. So I think the emphasis was really just get stops and just bow your head and play defense. We were getting good looks. We were getting what we need to get. We were getting open shots. I think it was just on the opposite end of the floor is where we really need to dial in and focus.
How was the game for you? Obviously, you get 12 points. You don't make any of the 3-pointers, but still, you get double digits in scoring. How do you feel after this game?
Confident. I think this was a big confidence builder for me personally. Even though some of the shots that were wide open didn't fall, they felt good, and I know that I kept shooting. So that was my mindset. It was just the next one is going to go in regardless of whether it was a 3 or a mid-range or a layup or whatever. But I think it was a very big confidence game for me.
How does the lack of cheating affect your offensive and defensive schemes during the game?
Losing a player like Z, it's gonna hurt for sure. He's a energy person for sure. He's versatile. He can guard guards. He can guard the bigs too, and he helps us a lot in the defensive end. So losing someone like Z, it hurts. But like we say, we just gotta have the next man up, and we can't use not having Z as an excuse.
One take, just talk about your season. I mean, when you had that first exhibition game, it seems like forever ago, and you had 14 points in the first half, and you kind of went quiet since then. And tonight was it looked like it was the first time you kind of felt like you did or looked like you did in that first game.
Yeah, I think today I felt like the floor was very spaced. We decided to go 4 out, which is just like passing and cutting, filling. No really specific offense, but I felt that the defense was very spread out. And, once I seen that, I realized I can attack certain gaps, and maybe if I hit somebody that was open or if I had a lane to finish myself, but I just felt like it was a lot of space, and that just worked for me.
Has it been a tough adjustment for you? I mean, not having played last year? Was it
Yeah.
rust? I mean, what was it that you didn't see this kind of game?
I think just transitioning into a different team where you don't know your role yet, and coaches didn't really specify my role. They told me, what different things to work on. But of course, we have Matt and Dakari, so those are two guys that I just have to, look at and learn from, and just wait my turn, basically.
Trey, what do you think? I mean, you see him play a lot. You know how good he is.
Yeah. Confidence it can do anything for a player. Seeing Techie work out just from when he got here to where he is now, it was one of those things. I never questioned his ability or anything like that. You can just tell his confidence was low. So, it's just one of those things. As a teammate, you hit him, tell him to shoot it. If he misses, tell him to shoot the next one. So we're glad as a team and as a teammate to see shots fall down for him.
Trey, you guys have this pattern of starting really well, taking a double-digit lead, blowing it.
Yeah.
What changed tonight? Because you came out in the second half, and they came back a little bit, but didn't quite happen the way it gone in the last few games.
I can't tell you something specific. Just one of those things, like I mentioned earlier. We just had to do it. There's plenty of times where, basketball is a game of runs, so we tend to have our run in the beginning of the game. We know the other team's going to have their run, so it's just one of those things. We can't let their run continue on and let their confidence keep building throughout the game. So just have to keep playing, keep taking a possession at a time, and tonight we did that.
You guys just get tired of blowing those leads finally?
We don't go out there wanting to lose the lead. It's not what we're trying to do. Just it happens, but you got to live and learn and go on to the next game.